My name is Josh, and this is the Built for Wealth podcast, a millennial's no BS guide to financial freedom. In this podcast, we are interviewing investors from all different spaces and backgrounds and gaining insights on just how they built their wealth through real estate that hopefully leaves you inspired to build yours. You can follow along at builtforwealthpodcast.com. And without further ado, we'll jump right into the show. Welcome. We got Dan Schiermeyer on the pod today. This is the first time that we've actually met, talked business.
Yeah, for sure.
But your page is full of skydiving and not real estate. So that was like my first attraction to you.
Yeah.
So just catch us up to speed. Who are you? What are you into? And how did you get here?
Interestingly, I got here from other friends that have been on the podcast. But yeah, grew up in Vermont, went to school for manufacturing engineering. Started out working in a corporate company in aerospace. Hated corporate because you could see where your future was. Mm-hmm. You could see where you'd be in 20 years. And I was like, that's not where I want to be. Had a quarter-life crisis, kind of left that. Ended up getting a job for Joe Gibbs Racing in Huntersville. So that's what moved me to North Carolina from New England.
Okay.
And then it's always good with personal finance, money. So I was always saving. Moved down here, was trying to find a place to live. My friend was a real estate agent. And he's like, this was 2016, 17. Like, you got money saved? Could you buy a house? And I was like, he's like, your mortgage will be cheaper than rent. I was like, okay. So found a house, 2 bedroom, 3.5 bath in Concord. Mm-hmm. And then had a friend move in. So house hacking before I knew what house hacking was.
Nice.
And then, so now I own my first piece of real estate. And then I started listening to BiggerPockets. So then I started consuming the real estate stuff, the Brandon Turner model. Mm-hmm. So I started looking for duplexes. Found a duplex in Mooresville, bought that in 2018, did the house hacking thing. So went from no rentals to 2 rentals right away, which was pretty quick.
Nice.
And then was basically living for free. I think I was spending about $200 a month to live at that point because I had the 2 doors and a roommate. And then 2020 came, I bought another house because I didn't want to live next to my tenants anymore. And then I had started looking into small business stuff, but a car wash came for sale that my brother actually found. And I had just started talking about the real estate stuff.
Yeah.
I had met Vinny before and saw what he was doing. And so me and my brother started to look into the car wash. And literally there's just a sign for sale on the side of the road. Broker had it listed. Called him one day and I said, hey, this is our deal. We both have W-2 jobs. We both have good credit. We have the money to do a down payment. I was like, I don't even know if I can qualify. He put us in touch with the lender. We met the owners because we were trying not to buy a full-time job, wanted to make sure it was something we could do on the side. Mm-hmm. And that got me into the commercial side. So we got the car wash. We were able to do a bunch of improvements and we can dive into it. Yeah. But then my original plan was with the BiggerPockets was like, let me buy a house every year or 2 for the next 5 to 10 years, have a portfolio, and then I can figure out what to do with it. Yeah. And then when we bought the commercial and I learned about just the accounting and how to make your NOI go up and then you forcing appreciation instead of banking on what the market's going to do. Mm-hmm. I was like, the light bulb kind of went off. Yeah. And then same broker brought a self-storage deal. I was still consuming BiggerPockets. Heard a guy talk about storage. And I was like, that sounds a lot easier at the car wash. Yeah. And you can kind of automate it where it doesn't need as much attention. Mm-hmm. So then we were able to close on storage as well. And then it's kind of evolved into where I am today.
Good deal. Yeah. Awesome. So why would you go into a car wash storage versus rental? You talked about that briefly, but just break that down a little bit more, the difference between the two.
Yeah. So having the single family rentals, it was a slower growth, I guess. So the car wash was at the time a ballsy move because I didn't know how to run a car wash. It just looked good on paper. Luckily, the day we bought it, it was already cash flowing, and then we got some benefits with the SBA and COVID and all that.
Nice.
So we were able to do improvements faster. Mm-hmm. But once we saw that, hey, we can improve a business, increase the NOI, and then straight up increase the value of it, I just saw like you could grow more equity in commercial businesses if you could operate them properly. So instead of doing residential, I was like, I'm just going to focus on commercial.
Yeah, because at a certain point with residential, you can only put so much into a house. It doesn't change the rent rate.
Yeah, exactly.
What were some of the things you did to improve the value, force the NOI?
On the car wash?
Yeah.
So first was just learning operations. So like credit card income all over, like getting everything functioning properly. So it was like, let's just make this what customers expect it to be. So fixing all the chemicals in the bays, having a correct phone number. So when they call and need a refund or something's wrong, we actually answer. So just getting back to customers, providing better customer service. Just basically fixing the operations, help bring in more business, updating the Google My Business. So when people search car wash near me, they would find our wash. Updated signage. And then we kind of got into bigger projects. So like getting new equipment, replacing our automatic machine, and then learning about all these methods like changing credit card processing. So
do you have any desire to do more car washes, or is that kind of like a one-time thing for you?
So I've looked into them. The tough part with it's like buying houses, the more you do, the more you have to scale a team. And to the level that I want to run it, I lucked out. It's close to where I live, so it's easy to maintain, keep an eye on. To keep buying car washes, it's this having to grow a team to run it. But then also it's kind of like the COVID flip, like everything just got way overvalued. So people are like, they just want astronomical numbers, and I'm like, it just doesn't work. So unless there's creative financing, I haven't found a deal that made sense.
I'm sure people ask you this all the time. Are you like swimming in a pool of quarters at your house?
No. So we actually take bills on everything now. So
oh, really? No more quarters.
We still have quarters. We take about $1,000 of quarters to the bank a month.
Wow.
But they kind of just sit in there and recycle because we have coin machines. So you put $1 in, it gives you 4 quarters. And for some people, for some reason, people still don't know that there's the things except bills. So for some reason, there's those old people. They will always go get $5 in quarters and go
then
put
use the quarters to pay.
I've told people, I'm like, why are you using the coin machine? And like, that was like, the machine has a bill acceptor. And they're like, oh, I didn't even see it.
Oh, that's awesome.
You realize in small business that people never read.
So obviously you did some capital improvements, improved the systems a little bit, made it more accessible to people. That's some of the low hanging fruit. And then you went in and did some more expensive upgrades, right? Machines and the automatic stuff. Like what could somebody expect to spend on something like that?
So putting a new automatic machine in. So there's a bigger goal there when we were doing it. We wanted to do a membership program. So like people can pay the monthly fee and just come through to get reoccurring revenue coming in. But with our old machine that was there, it was 15 years old, hard to get parts for, tripped all the time, so it would be down. So I didn't want to start it with a bad piece of equipment. So I think the whole new automatic, it was about $165,000 improvement.
Wow.
But we were able to get 100% financing.
Really? From the distributor or?
No, just some other lenders. But because the business was already doing well, we had owned it at that point for I think like 15 months. So the business had already started to improve, and the cash was basically there to fund the equipment loan. And then having the new piece of equipment, the projections that we had from the manufacturer just showed that our car account was going to go up. We would now have members. So we were able to score 100% financing, which is great.
That's really cool. Were you able to be successful with the subscription model?
Yeah, we're at about 350 members now. It's gone up every year. Now that we have a few years, we have cycles. So it slows down at the end of the year. And then as winter comes and if they put salt on the roads, the membership starts to go up. And then pollen season, it goes up. And then now that it's getting hot.
What's a membership cost?
Ranges from $18 to $28 a month. And it's just for the automatic. But the top 2 packages, we give self-service time as well. And then we give all our members free vacuums. But if you just drive up, you have to pay for the vacuum. So
very cool. Do you have an on-site manager or somebody doing it, or it's totally automated?
Yeah, it's totally automated.
Very cool.
I have a virtual assistant that helps with my storage and answers the phone at the car wash. And then I have a few helpers that just go by, take out the trash, check on the bays, spray it out in the mud. And then my brother and I still do like the maintenance.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever find yourself like you're watching YouTube videos trying to figure out how to fix stuff?
So
I mean, you're an engineer, so like you've got the technical background.
We figured a lot of it out, and then just found like there's carwashforums.com. You could go put stuff in there. That's where I got a lot of ideas as well.
Wow.
And then there's a good Facebook group called Talk Wash. So there's you could post a picture and stuff in there, and you'll have a response in 10, 15 minutes.
That's cool.
And then
what a cool niche.
Yeah.
Like the people who just nerd out about car washes.
Yeah. If you're resourceful, the information's out there. But then
Yeah.
also like the equipment manufacturers, they have customer service numbers. So we just called them, and then you find a good rep, and then you're like, hey, we're having this issue, and they're usually pretty quick to respond.
Interesting.
So
is the car wash space competitive, or is it, do you feel like there's somewhat of a frontier on there for savvy investors?
So ours is self-service and in-bay automatic. The tunnel side, I think, is way more competitive, which the tunnel is like a Sam's Express where it pulls your car through. They can wash way more cars than we can, but they are strictly chasing members.
Yeah.
We lucked out on location, and you don't really see self-service car washes being built anymore. So it's a lot of people buying them and rehabbing them, and then either operating or selling them. So we haven't had as much competition. And then we also lucked out that our town didn't want any more car washes to be built. So
nice.
It's not like a Sam's tunnel is getting built right next to ours.
This is in Mooresville, right?
It's in Cornelius.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you mind sharing some of like the economics of it, just so that people have like an idea what potential's out there?
Yeah.
Like, what'd you buy it for? What was it making? Like, what's it worth now once you've done all these improvements?
Yeah. So we bought it for $825. So it was doing, I think, like 125,000 gross, and the NOI was adjusted was like 72,000.
That's pretty good.
And last year we did 3 times both.
Wow.
Yep. So the valuation was still a little weird on car washes. Like it used to be, people were like, it's 3 to 5 times, but that doesn't make sense because the cap rate would be like 16%. And I'm like, I'm not selling it. I'm not giving it up at that.
Right.
I think they are trading more on a cap rate now, so like 10 to 13%.
Yeah.
I've seen some trade in like the 8 to 9. So the valuation's probably $2 million plus.
So you took it from making about 70,000 a year to like over 200,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's pretty stinking cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And we did some more improvements last year. So this year is already year over year well above last year. So.
Yeah. So, but there is the finding a deal like that, those are rare.
Yeah.
Like the mom and pop operator, they've been doing it for a long time. It's run down.
Yeah.
It's not visible anywhere.
Yeah. And it takes time, like, because you need the customers to come through and actually use the service to be like, oh, that was a good experience, and then come back. Where like, and it's the same with storage. You can't just go paint it and put a new website up and then all of a sudden the customers come. You got to you're competing against other facilities. So it's been 5 years now, and we constantly improve it, make sure that it's clean, so that trying to get that first impression, the first time somebody comes, everything works. Or if they have an issue and we respond and give them their change back, then they come back, and now we just have a good customer base.
Nice.
And then it helps that they keep building houses. So.
That definitely helps.
Yeah.
How many of the people do you know, is it just based out of convenience in the location, or are they going to you because you're a local company, or they like the experience? Do you have an idea of what that demographic looks like?
I don't. I've been wanting to pull like all the credit card data and compare to see how many times, like I know I have customers that come once a week because I see them there, but I would like to see how often customers are coming. Like, are they coming 5 times a year, or are they coming once a month, or like try to get that data just to see. Yeah. Because I think it's an influx. We get some people that come 5 times a year, and we have other people that come 5 times a year, but they don't come at the same time because it's always busy. Yeah. I think that experience is what keeps people coming back, because I've had people that live in Charlotte and I think have found us through good SEO, like the Google My Business page. Yeah. But they're like, we drive by 5 self-service washes because we know yours works. Because a lot of people don't operate them properly. They don't keep them clean. The chemicals are always empty, or like the hoses are broken. So just having the good operations helps.
You need to ask them, what are those 5 ones that you drive by?
so then go pick them up.
Can I get some addresses?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so switching gears to storage. This is what I want to talk about, because you know, I'm in storage as well. I love storage. I think it's one of the best asset classes out there. And what was it, 2 weeks ago, we had Alex Quezada on the podcast. Okay. And he's in storage. He's, you know, all over the Southeast. Yeah. I think he's got stuff all the way out in Texas too. But how far after your first purchase with the car wash did you get into storage?
7 months.
7 months.
Yeah. It was quick.
You're just full of ambition. You're just like, we hit a home run with the car wash.
Yeah, I still had a W-2, so it was a busy time of my life.
Wow. So talk to me about that one.
Yeah, so how we got it, the same broker that had it listed like 2 weeks after we closed on the car wash was like, do you know anybody that wants storage? And I looked at it and I was like, it was listed at like 1.4 million. And I was like, no chance I can do a deal that big again. And then went back to listening to BiggerPockets, heard a guy, he was talking about storage and he had content. So I started consuming his content. He had a lender on that was talking about SBA loans. And I didn't know at the time, but you can get up to $5 million in SBA loans. Mm-hmm. So I was like, holy crap, maybe we could do this. And so the same thing, 10% down, looked at our finances, and me and my brother were like, I think we can do this without raising any money or getting any investors.
Yeah.
And then so we started looking into it. And he had it listed. His rates were low. We just did a little napkin math. If we raised everybody by $10, not knowing like he was 60% under market value.
Wow.
So once we did that, we're like, there's a lot of opportunity here. We got to figure this out.
Yeah.
So same thing, just got the paperwork. We went under contract in December. So we bought car wash September in 2020. We went under contract the first time in December. Got all the financials. Tax returns didn't match any of the financials.
Oh, wow.
He just ran his life through it. So he wrote a bunch of stuff off, but it didn't match. So with going through the SBA, they're like, we can only fund to this amount. And then we realized that the income wasn't as high as the broker had stated. So, which was good because we had already done all the paperwork with the bank. We got pre-approved to a certain amount, but then we had to cancel the contract and then go back into negotiations. And the deal, I kind of wrote it off. Like I was like, it's not going to happen. I can't offer 1.4. It was worth about, at the cap rate at the time on what I was doing, is worth about like 950. There was so much value add though. The bank ended up coming back and they're like, hey, we want to help you get this deal. I used Live Oak Bank, and his name's Terry Campbell. He used to work there. He doesn't anymore, but he's in storage as well.
Yeah.
But he happened to be from Statesville, which is where the facility's located.
Interesting.
He's like, I'm going to be in town. Do you think the owner would be willing to meet with me? And then he also just wanted to see the facility to see the condition. Mm-hmm. So he sat the owner down and told him how storage is valued, and just kind of gave him the spiel. And they were both from Statesville. They started talking about chicken farming, and they knew the same people. So I think a little relationship stuff there helped out. But basically after that, I went back and I gave him an offer letter. And I said, based on the conversation, your facility is worth X, which was like 925 or something. We're offering you 1.1. And I hand wrote this on a manila envelope with the offer in there. I handed it to him. Called him like 5 days later because I didn't hear anything. He's an angry old man. He's like, he hung up on me. He's like, because all he did was saw the first number that I wrote down and thought that's what I was offering him. So he just ripped it up. And then the broker called me like a week later, and he thought I was cutting him out. I wasn't cutting him out. He was on all the paperwork and everything. I just handed the offer directly to the owner.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, our offer was 1.1. We can close in 60 days. And he called me back like 20 minutes later, and he's like, can you do 1.16? And we were a little limited on like how much cash. Like if we went to 1.16, that was another $60,000 we had to bring out of pocket. So I called the bank, and they're like, we'll go up to it. So they funded it. We closed in 60 days, and
awesome.
Then figured out how to run storage.
Then figured it out?
Yeah. No, we did a lot of research ahead of time, like, because it was all, he sat there 6 days a week, watched TV, and would answer a customer if they came in. And we started looking at the automation because I consumed all this content.
Yeah.
So we had a property management software in place the day we took over. Got internet, so got our gate tied to the property management software. So we tried to go fully remote right away.
Yeah.
Took a little bit in the beginning. We had to go there more often to get customers changed over and stuff. But
how many units is it?
138.
Nice.
Yeah.
And everybody was probably just paying cash checks to him.
A lot of cash. Like he literally had an Excel, like the big size paper, and just a unit list. I had to convert everything to Excel for the bank. So that was a lot of time. But we put it all into the property management software. Luckily, he had all their information. He actually did get leases signed, which was great. We had to put that all into Excel, upload it to the property management software. And then he did take credit cards, but it was through like Square or something. So nothing was saved. It wasn't automatic.
Yeah.
So we had to collect everyone's credit card payment the first few months. And when we stopped taking cash immediately.
How long did it take for you to get everybody converted from the paper method, pay in person, to fully automated?
Probably 2 to 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, because we put signage up like on the customer door that they used to walk through. Be like, hey, we're managing remotely now. You can leave your payment in the middle door. There's a mail slot. But then over time, we transitioned it to where we mail it to a P.O. box that's closer.
Yeah. So people can mail to a P.O. box.
Yep. So we
receive payment there.
Yeah. Any new customer is credit card auto draft only. But we have a lot of existing customers that still are there from when we bought it.
Yeah.
And we let them still pay with check. But
Nice.
no cash anymore.
So outside of getting things converted to electronic, virtual, what other capital improvements did you guys do?
New cameras. So that was mainly for us so that we could keep a better eye on it remotely. New lighting, so it looks better at night. We did improve the gate so that he had a keypad gate, and then we had to do the upgrade to tie to the property management software.
Yeah.
So then when tenants don't pay, their gate code's locked out, and then they can't get in.
So cool.
Yeah, so it wasn't as much capital improvement, and then it's just been routine maintenance from there, fixing doors and little things.
So you eventually closed that early 2021?
Yep.
When it was all
May
said and
2021.
done? And you bumped the rents up $10?
No, we went to market rate on new move-ins right away.
Wow.
And it was about 95% occupied at the time, but there was a lot of like, it was constant move in, move out. So we were getting a lot of new tenants at street rate.
Yeah.
And then
what was the street rate? You said what was like the average rate, and then what was the new rate?
I want to say like a 10 by 20 there was like $70.
Wow.
And at one point we were at 140.
So you just doubled those prices.
Yeah.
That's
like we
wild.
kept an eye on the other facilities, and like rates were going up during that time. So we were able to get up, and we've had to come back down just because the market and there's more
competitive.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we did rent increases on the old tenants, and we were, I guess, trying to be nice or didn't want to deal with a bunch of conflict. So we only raised them half of what street rates were.
Yeah.
And then we did another raise about a year in.
Nice.
So
you're 4 years in now with this. All of the valuations when you bought it was $925.
Yeah.
So you overpaid a little bit.
Yeah.
What's it worth now?
I would have to look. At one point, it was over $2 million as well. I think it's come down a little bit because occupancy dropped a little bit last year because we weren't just too busy doing too many things. I wasn't paying attention to competitor rates. So our street rates stayed high. So we were just, people would look and be like, oh, I found something cheaper.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the first 3 years were easy. We didn't have to do anything. No marketing, like Google My Business page and stuff like that. But it was just, we had a wait list. We were almost fully full.
Wow.
We had somebody on a wait list. If somebody moved out of a 10 by 20, we would just call a person and they'd move in the same day or the next day. So we were like,
what changed?
The market. So interest rates going up, people are not moving as much. I think housing slowed down a little bit, and then competitors. So Life Storage opened a mile away. Couple other, I think 2 other facilities opened in the area. So we didn't really have to focus on like marketing, SEO, Google ads, and that's what we've transitioned to. And then changing rates, doing move-in specials, because all the big REITs do move-in specials.
Yeah. And
able to bounce occupancy back pretty quick.
Yeah.
But now that street rates are lower, at 90%, it's not making as much as it was before. So still great though. It's super healthy. Like I think with what we bought it at, with what our interest rate is on our loan, it wouldn't concern me until we got to like 50% occupancy. So and to get that low, I feel like I'd really have to screw something up.
Yeah, for sure. So other than just adjusting your prices to try to stay competitive, now you're diving into SEO and all that stuff for getting units filled. What are some other things that you guys are focusing on to increase your occupancy?
So one thing I did is me and my brother we were operating it from our cell phones. So call it operating from the hip.
Nice.
And then same with the car wash. I realized I needed somebody to answer the phones. I didn't want to pay a manager to sit on the phones or sit at the site all the time. So I looked into the virtual assistant route.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hired a virtual assistant about 2 months ago. She's in Nicaragua, and she answers the phones, and she's on from 9 to 6 during the week.
Nice.
And so just that customer service now, I can tell people, hey, if you call between 9 and 6, somebody's going to answer the phone or get back to you.
Yeah.
And she's able to chase people that say they're delinquent or that are delinquent. If somebody says, hey, I'll make a payment on the 18th, well, you're getting a call on the 18th if you haven't paid. So just that follow-up has helped increase occupancy, collections. So that's been, I should have done that way sooner.
Have you done anything to like expand on the facility or add additional units, or it's just everything's as it was?
That one facility, we looked into doing a parking expansion. Something I learned in buying, we didn't know that there was an easement for power lines until after. So
bummer.
We still have more land we could build, but it's behind the facility. So I looked into an expansion pretty heavily, but we did buy the lot next to us last year. So it's 0.75 acres, but it's on the driveway side. So now I have that access to go build a big building behind, and just the rough plans that I've talked with an engineer about, we could build 55,000 square feet.
Wow.
So it's at 18,000 square feet. I could improve it up to that.
Wow.
But
that's a lot.
It's more than
doubling its size.
Yeah. It's a little bit. I'm slowly working on that because there's a lot of cost to do development, a lot of cost to just get it approved.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of have it broken out, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it because essentially I'm waiting for the housing developments to start.
Yeah.
So as I watch the housing developments in the area start to get approved and they start to break ground, then I'm going to start to move because then the demand will come back.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take on a big construction loan competing against a REIT right down the road.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It'd basically just kill the cash flow from the business.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting because you definitely see a lot of these big REIT-owned storage facilities coming in. Mm-hmm. I'm curious what the absorption rate on those are because you look at and you're trying to do a market analysis on pricing, and they're like $10 a month, $30 a month. They're just trying to do whatever they can to get people in.
So you know that all the REITs are third-party managers. So when you see a Life Storage or an Extra Space, well, they're now all Extra Space, or CubeSmart or whatever, most of the time they don't own it. They're just running it. Some investor and a group of investors built it, run it. They stabilize it, but the REIT runs it, and then they'll turn around and sell it back to them.
Interesting.
Or they keep it and change management groups. So most big storage facilities you see is just somebody's raising money and they're deploying it in storage.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that is definitely a differentiator, especially for you guys being locally owned, and I've experienced this, is somebody calls and I'm still answering the phone for mine, mostly because I'm like in the weeds and I want to figure this out.
For sure.
But when multiple times I've had somebody call and I answer and they're like, oh, thank God, a human, you know? You don't have to go through this automated system. And as nice as it is to have stuff you can do it all from your phone and it's great and it's amazing, but having that human connection, you never want to undervalue that.
For sure.
Because I think that speaks volumes as to winning over a customer versus going through the automated system at one of the big box places.
And even though I now have a virtual assistant, she speaks really good English, but she's there to answer the phone, answer any questions. And I think people like that, or they know that somebody's actually going to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Which definitely helps. But even I would say when we started to see occupancy go down, we used to just send people just go to our website. We'll text you the link. You can do the whole rental there. Now kind of learning sales a little bit. If you can capture them on the phone, you're like, here, let me fill your information in for you. You can actually capture that rental. Yeah. And I noticed I was getting more rentals that way.
Yep.
Because they're like, oh, I'm going to go shop around. It's like, oh, well, I'll waive this fee for you. And if you want to rent it right now.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of sales tactics.
Yeah. I mean, there's a sales tactic that we use. It's called scorching the earth.
Yeah.
And I started implementing that with our storage stuff too. And it's whenever somebody's on the phone and they say that they're going to go shop around.
Yeah.
You just casually leave these landmines
Yeah.
in there for them as they're shopping around and equipping them with information.
Yep.
And it's, hey, just as you know, sometimes these big box places, they're doing whatever they can to get people in. You'll find there's like the introductory rate, but then when it gets down to the point there's all these fees attached to it.
Yeah.
And you're expecting to get a drive up unit and it's like on the 3rd floor and you're just doing whatever you can to discredit these other guys.
Yeah.
And very commonly I've had people call back afterwards and they're like, man, it's just as you said, like it's like a 3rd floor, 10 by 20.
Yeah.
I got to use the cart and this and that. And, you know, I just want the convenience and your place is close. And, you know, it's one way that gives us a competitive advantage over the other guys. And whenever we beat out one of those big box guys, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it's always a good feeling. I actually just lost somebody to the big box because they wanted climate controlled and I don't have it.
Oh,
but she had been a tenant since we bought it and I was like trying tooth and nail to keep her, but
I'll put a mini split. Please.
Yeah.
It sounds like your beginnings, you're pretty financially frugal.
Yeah.
And that puts you in a good position to be able to buy your first rental, then the duplex.
Yeah.
You know, you're an engineer, you're working for a racing team. Like, what do you attribute that frugality to? Is that something you grew up doing or was it by necessity or?
I think my parents kind of always like put in save. And then if you want to buy something you can afford or you can pay cash for. Mm-hmm. Like we never bought like super crazy fancy cars. Sometimes we had a few, but like my first car was paid off.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of had that in my head. And then graduating college, I don't remember who gave me the book, but it's called Automatic Millionaire. And I forget the author, but you read it and it's just talking about how people waste money, like going out to buy coffee every day, eating lunch every day. And when I got into the workplace, like you realize that money adds up real quick.
Yeah.
I also love skydiving, so I was trying to save some money to skydive. But yeah, putting money away in a 401k at the time, just like not spending above my means. Mm-hmm. And that helped out tremendously. When I left my first job, I had savings. And when I came back here, I forget the stat, but it's like 40% of people spend half of their income on their mortgage. Mm-hmm. I was trying to keep that at like 10%.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it nice and low. So that's kind of like, that's how I got the first house because I was trying to keep my monthly payment on living low. Mm-hmm. And then when I got the second home, I was barely paying anything. And then when I got my third house, I was actually cash flowing. So I wasn't paying anything to live.
Yeah.
So I've tried to keep that the same. And now I just use my rentals to pay my mortgage. So it's kind of, I'll probably always keep my single family or I'll sell it all and buy a small business, but it'll always pay for my living.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of discipline.
Yeah. It's not that hard.
It's not rocket science. Just don't go out, eat lunch every day, you know, like make a sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not that hard. Cook once or twice a week and you can have food for the week.
I remember this was back when I first moved to the area. I had a job and I went to get a car for Christy and I went to the dealership and I got a truck and a Prius. Both of them were financed. Yeah. And went against everything that I knew, you know, in financial wisdom, right? Yeah. And at a certain point I had like zero margin in my life. And I listened to this podcast on BiggerPockets where the guy was talking about, he was a teacher, similar situation, like had nothing left at the end of the month, but he had this awesome truck that he was paying for. And the truck was financed. And I'm listening to this guy and I'm like, this is me. And it was maybe $450 a month. Yeah. But that was a lot of money. Yeah. And I was trying to, because I love this truck, I wanted to keep it. But the whole premise of this podcast was like, go wash the truck. Like you may not know how to sell it. Yeah. But like take the first step. You can wash it. Yeah. And you can take pictures. And then you can list it.
Yeah. I definitely listened to that one.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That one podcast, I went out, washed my truck. I put it on Craigslist. Had a guy interested. I figured out how to sell it. And then I got rid of the payment. Yeah. And that gave me enough margin in my life to be able to like get on to that next phase. Yeah. You know, I took the couple $1,000s in cash that I had. I bought a motorcycle and I drove a motorcycle for like a year and a half. Like that was my primary means of transportation. Yeah. But people just don't do what's needed to create that margin in their life. They want comfort. They want what's easy. And you're a testimony to that. You just be disciplined, set money aside.
Yeah, it's not that hard to track your finances, and I still do track all my personal finances to know what you spend a year, where you spend it, and then what do you actually need to survive. So like what can you get rid of? So I was trying to get rid of college loans right off the bat. I got rid of those pretty quick. I wanted no debt, and like a mortgage on a rental property isn't debt to me because my tenants are paying for it, and I have a safety net. So being able to get rid of those things is what allowed me to leave my W-2 once I had the businesses, because I got to a point where I was like, I'm not financial freedom spending, doing whatever I want, but I can live and go bike and still do plenty of the things I want to do. And to have that headspace is pretty awesome.
Yeah. At what point in your investment journey did you actually quit your day job?
So I started thinking about it in 2021. I was like, we can get these things to a point where I can leave my job. And then I think it was January 2022, my brother and I were doing a review, just how the businesses did that year. That was our first full year with storage. Or no, we hadn't even had storage for the full year, but kind of could see where it was going. And just did some rough numbers. I was like, if we sold both businesses right now, how much would we each walk away with? And I forget the number, but I know that it was more than I had made at my job in the last 6 years. And it had been 14 months.
Wow.
So I was like, I think I need to dive into this. Now there's a few things I needed to do along the way before I could leave, because having a W-2 is super beneficial, especially for lending. Yeah. So started looking into refinancing the car wash, because we did do an SBA loan. I had a rental property tied in collateral that I wanted to sell, but I couldn't sell it, or it would have had to go directly to the SBA loan. And then I was young and dumb. I didn't shop finances when we were buying the car wash, so I probably could have gotten a better interest rate. And I realized where interest rates were, so we refinanced. Luckily, we found the bank, because we were only 15 months in, and a lot of them want 2 years in business. Yeah. But we were able to refi. We paid the fee on the SBA loan, but we took our interest rate from 6% to 4.5%, locked in for 5 years, freed that collateral, had no more collateral. The collateral was just the car wash itself. But I had to get that done before I left the W-2. Yeah. So like literally the day they said at closing, I put my notice in.
That's
so
awesome.
I left July 1st, 2022.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And then just ran the business, had more time to work on like things I wanted to do, optimize a few things.
Yeah. So you mentioned before we started the lock stuff. You're with a startup now, and I paused you because I wanted to make sure that you're explaining it on here.
Yeah.
Is that your main focus today?
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
Yeah. So working in NASCAR, I got connected with somebody else, and he started an incubator in Cornelius called First Turn Innovations. And there was another guy in the area that he's been in storage for 25 years. He owns a pretty big portfolio. Yeah. I got introduced to him at the incubator, and he was working on building a smart lock powered by NFC, which is like Apple Pay, Android Pay. So it was a smart lock that has no batteries, powered from your phone, for the self-storage industry. Wow. And I was like, I know the storage industry, it's big. There's a lot of doors. There's like 40 million doors in the States. Yeah. I was like, that would be really cool, because it's a smart lock. So now you don't go put overlocks on anymore. Your tenant can't get in if they haven't paid. You can sell the lock over and over again. You don't have to worry about batteries. There's Bluetooth battery competitors we have, but you have to have batteries, wired mesh networks, or hardwired low voltage power. So it's like impossible to retrofit, and they're expensive. So like it sparked my idea. In my background's manufacturing engineering. I like to make stuff. Yeah. So started tinkering with it. Was kind of just, I was semi-retired at the time, I say. So you can't retire at 33. You get bored. And I was like, I felt a little behind because I was just working on my businesses. And I was like, there's AI coming out and all these tools. I was like, I just need to stay busy because I want to keep learning. Yeah. And I was like, so I started tinkering with it. And we got a working prototype. I met him in May. We took a working prototype to a trade show in September and like got customer interest. And people were like, that's awesome. And we're like, let's do it. So I joined the team. I've done corporate America, so I'd say small, medium size, and I've always wanted to do a startup. Yeah. So I had the financial spot where like, hey, if it fails in 6 months, I'm still fine. Yeah. And it's still kind of flexible around my time, so I can still manage my businesses or keep an eye on them. So yeah, it's fun.
It's powered off of cell service?
No, your cell phone, like wireless charging, but your phone wireless charges the lock.
How the heck does that work?
So it's near field communication. So like if you used Apple Pay,
Yeah.
so that's just communicating because the device you're using is powered.
Mm-hmm.
So your phone has enough power to communicate with the chip that's in there, and then our back end software, which is the app on your phone, is saying, yes, this person can get in, or no, they can't. And yes, if they can, then it charges the capacitor, dumps the power to move the mechanism. And that happens in like 3 seconds.
You have to go there and change the...
Your phone physically has to touch the lock for it to work is the one downfall. But it's super secure. Like once you have it registered, it's signed to a unit. If that tenant is moved in, our software talks to the property management software. If they're not paid, they can't get in. And then as soon as they pay, they can get in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like a double layer. You got the gate and then you got the actual unit.
Yeah, because people will always tailgate into a facility. If you don't have the double keypad where they need the keypad to get out of the gate as well.
Oh yeah.
So that's what a lot of bigger facilities do is they have a keypad inside. So if they tailgate in on the first and you haven't overlocked them yet, then they could still get their stuff out. They're called ghost move-outs.
Ghost move-outs.
Because they'll move out between the first and whenever you lock them out.
Interesting. So subscription-based, cost, fee? How does it work?
So we have 3 versions. So we started with a disc lock. It's a standard lock and storage.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made a cylinder lock, which is just adapts to a different latch. And then we made a full latch. So that actually bolts to the door and stays on the door.
Interesting.
Prices range from $50 to $130. So the latch is $130.
Yeah.
But our competitors are like $250 to $350.
So there's other people in that space too.
Yeah, but they're all Bluetooth battery powered, or they need wire mesh networks or hard wiring. So they're expensive to install. They're expensive to run, and it just takes a lot more. There's a lot more pieces that can break. And then, I mean, big operators that have hundreds of thousands of doors, if you go put battery powered locks on, you're now having to worry about that many batteries you have to change.
Right.
So it's just you're trading one problem for another.
So interesting.
Yeah, but
so you could just drive by and just tap the one like you're paying for something.
Yeah,
and,
it takes about 2 to 3 seconds because it's actually transferring power. But it's still a pretty seamless operation for the customer.
It's a digital lock, or it's still like that jumbo or combo lock?
So it looks like a disc lock. It just has a round antenna on it. So that's where you hold your phone.
Yeah.
I should have brought one.
You should have. You could have sold me.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. It's a lot. Saves a lot of operational costs for operators because if you put them on every door, you no longer have to go send somebody to overlock.
Yeah.
Now when you go do auction, you don't go have to cut locks because you have access to it. Or your manager has access to it. So they just scan it, open it, take the pictures, close it. Now you don't have to go out there to meet your auction winner to take a lock off. Yeah. You just send them a code.
Or if like a spring breaks on it, you can get in it for maintenance.
Exactly,
like that kind of stuff.
There's tons of operational experience. So like
interesting.
Site walkthroughs become easier.
Yeah.
So it just saves a lot of time. So your labor cost goes down. So you can increase the value of your property.
Very cool.
So
switching gears a little bit.
Yep.
Have you always considered yourself risk averse, or are you on the risky side? This may be a dumb question because you go skydiving and stuff, but like just in business and life, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's all calculated. Like I didn't jump out of a plane until I knew it was safe. You kind of looked at the stats, saw everything.
Mm-hmm.
On the investing side, it's just like you make one move, you learn from it. If it goes good, you do it again or not, or you learn from it and you do it better the next time. So I would say I don't follow the norm.
Yeah.
I know other people have done stuff. Follow the people where you want to be. So like, they took risks at some point. Make sure you take a risk and it's not going to wipe everything out that you have. Right. Make sure you're still going to be in a good spot. So I think it's all calculated risk.
Yeah.
But not scared to take risk.
Yeah. I mean, if you take bets that are asymmetric to the upside,
yeah,
you're more likely to succeed than you are to fail.
Yeah. And if you take a risk, like say you go buy a small business, and as long as you know you can get out of it, maybe lose a little bit of money, but not like a lot, why not do it?
Yeah.
But if there's upside to it and you can make good, then you know there's potential. Worst case scenarios, you just traded time and you didn't really make a lot of money.
Absolutely.
But why not take that risk?
The cool thing about all of these that you talk about, like the storage, the car wash, rentals, all of that stuff, it's backed by the real estate that it's sitting on.
Yeah.
And they're already established. You're just implementing improvements, upgrades to get it to be a better customer experience, and then you're charging the difference for it.
Yeah.
So it's really all depending on your ability to be a good operator.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit different from like a startup business. You know, I'm sure you're getting a different experience with the startup company.
For sure.
But if you were to go out and start like a detailing business or a window washing or a lawn care, lawn maintenance, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're wearing all these hats.
Yeah.
You're doing everything.
It's a lot of moving pieces.
It's a lot of moving pieces, right? But if you find an established business like that,
yep,
it's kind of hard to screw it up.
Yeah. Yeah. If it has a track record, if you do the same thing it's been doing, you know what your performance is going to be.
Exactly.
But then if you can see like changes you can make, then that's where you start toying with things. And if it works, you keep doing it. If not, but yeah, just going out and starting a business, I think would be a lot harder because if you haven't done it before, you're now having to learn everything.
Absolutely. So what are some of the most strategic relationships you've had that have gotten you to where you are today?
So meeting the right people, so like-minded people that are also into real estate. You've had Britt and Jonathan on. I know Jonathan through skydiving. Mm-hmm. I knew him before he met Britt, and I met him once he met Britt. She was into real estate. She analyzed my first duplex with me.
Oh, nice.
So she really had it since the beginning. So
you got the seal of approval.
Yeah, yeah. So she was way better at running numbers. Showed me how to run numbers on a rental and like showing you the value add. So she helped me with that. I think probably every deal I've done, we probably had a conversation about it.
Nice.
So meeting her and having somebody to review stuff with, that kind of got me into going to meetups and talking to other people, constantly learning. Meeting Vinny. We were at a car show once, and one of my buddies was there, and me and him were talking about investing, and he was talking about investing in the stock market, and I had bought my few rentals now. I was like, I think I'm going to start putting all my money into real estate. And Vinny was there, and he's like, how do you think I buy all these cars? I was like, I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
And this was 2018, so it was right when he first moved here.
Yeah.
And my mom had passed. We inherited a house that was paid off, and so we had a little bit of money like in the value of the house. And Vinny put the thought in my head. He's like, you need to put that equity to work. And so when my brother brought the car wash to me, I was like, take a cash out refinance. There's our down payment. We don't actually have any money out of pocket.
Nice.
So that was huge. That's basically got us to take that first step. And then getting a good CPA has been also huge. Mm-hmm. Somebody that I can go talk to throughout the year, just to talk strategy. Like, these are the things I'm thinking about doing. These are the improvements we're making. Where does it look like my taxes are going to be before talking about this halfway through the year before I get to the end of the year, so that I can mitigate taxes. And
so what you're saying is there's a lot of people that helped you.
Yeah, for sure. And then I joined a mastermind group called Go Abundance.
Nice.
So being around the same people, investing, but not just talking about making money in life and things like that. I think that's been pretty huge in my life as well.
Awesome. So there's a local chapter here that meets up.
There's one in Charlotte, and then I try to go to one national event a year. So
nice.
Yeah, it's just being around like-minded people, definitely.
That nobody can do it alone.
No. And you find out the people that are where you want to be are usually super willing to help out, especially if you ask the right questions.
Yeah. Have you done any deals that lost money?
No. I moved into a new primary house last year. Yeah. I was bored. I was living in a house that I bought to be a rental, and it was 4 years later. I was like, I need to do something. If I had to sell my house right now, I'd probably lose a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I don't plan to move. I think the markets will come back. So yeah, I think we'll be fine. That'd probably be the first one that I lost money on.
Well, you haven't lost it yet.
Yeah.
Because you haven't sold it.
Yeah, so. I haven't sold it. Real estate always comes back.
Yeah.
No, I I did sell my first townhouse that I was trying to 1031, and I have that parked in I've ended up buying another townhouse that I 1031'd it into, and that hasn't really made any equity. It's just cash flow's okay because the money I had to put 50% down.
Yeah.
But if I was to sell that, I would get my capital back and it's cash flow the whole time, but it hasn't really made any equity.
Yeah.
So when I bought it, so
have you always been entrepreneurial like this, or was there a noticeable event that
I think
sparked it?
I'm going back to high school. I was trying to think of this. Like in high school, I played lacrosse, and I learned how to like string the lacrosse heads, and then like everybody they'd pay me to do it, so I would string sticks on the way to games. The guy that did our insurance, I would always do his sons. So like I started making, like, you make $20, take me 30 minutes to do.
Yeah.
So I started making money back then. I started working when I was like 16. So learned making money, saving stuff so I could actually buy my own things. And then when I left my first job, I had an idea to make this GoPro accessory. And I started this small company. I still kind of run it, but it's really small now. I only started it at that point to learn how to like create a business, legit LLC, create a bank account, put something online and sell it.
Yeah.
All I did that for was the experience. Now I still sell them, but it doesn't take that much time.
Yeah.
That knowledge when I bought my car wash was like, oh, you got to create an LLC. Oh, let me do the paperwork. Like I didn't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
Let me go get an EIN number. Let me go get the bank account. Like that stuff's all out of the way.
Yeah.
Super easy, which that holds a lot of people up. Like they're like, what's the name for my LLC? It's like, it doesn't matter. Just send it in. You can change the name later. It's like I've helped so many people start an LLC. They're like, oh, I'm thinking about doing this. I'm like, fill the paperwork out. It's $150. Send it to the state. Come back when you have the paperwork. I'll I'll get you an EIN number. Go open the bank account.
Yeah. It's so funny how that is it's either like a huge intimidating factor for somebody, or that is like the sign of success for them. It's like, I started my LLC.
Yeah.
Like I've made it, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes I wasn't doing those till like halfway through the closing process. I'm like, oh crap, we need to get this
I know,
done.
right? Yeah, there's been a few that have been delayed because of that. Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So thinking back on your career, where you started from, how has real estate changed your life?
Oh, 100%. Wouldn't be where I am today without it. It's crazy to think back. There's a book called The Gap in the Gain. And a lot of times everybody thinks in the gain, they're always looking to their future self of where they want to be and not looking back at like how far you've come. If you look back like 3 years, would yourself 3 years ago think you are where you are now? So when I look back, I mean, my real estate journey started in 2017. I quit my job in 2022. I was like, if I look back 5 years ago when I bought that first house, no way I would have thought that I'm like financially free doing whatever I want on a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So, it's completely changed my life. And then now I have a pretty good portfolio that like there's many options. Like I think about how many different options I have if I wanted to just go sell everything and go move somewhere. Like I could be financially free forever.
Yeah. Or trade up.
Yeah, exactly.
Sell all that 1031 into something bigger.
And thinking about those things, it's like it's more fun. It can be more stressful. It's like if you sell it, you have this much equity. Where do you put the money? It can be stressful, but like that's a good stress. You're worrying about how to move money.
Yeah. So, what are some disciplines that you practice to keep you steady? Like, 'cause you don't need to work.
Yeah.
What keeps you motivated? What keeps you driving?
Constantly learning. Like I feel like you stop using your brain, you just lose it. So constantly learning. So many things to do in this world. There's so many things to see, and there's a lot of things I still want to go see. So like I feel like that's kind of a drive. Keeping my body fit. Like I think that's huge. Having a religious like planning. So like every Monday morning I plan out my week. Take time to like actually set goals for the year.
Yeah.
And then review those, because I think if you can say you want to do something, putting pen to paper adds a little bit, but then when you review it, like in GoBundance, we do a thing called the one sheet. You list out financials, financial goals, but then different pillars of life. And like for health and fitness, if you say, I want to get fit, well, what are you going to do to get fit? Say, I want to work out 100 times this year, and break that down into quarters, and break that out into a month.
Yeah.
So then you have an actionable step you need to take every week.
Yeah.
So that's big. I think doing that type of planning is what just keeps me accountable to myself. Because I think it's good to like dream, but putting it on paper, then you can make action steps, and then you realize you make one step every day, and you're farther along than you were.
So one little step at a time. Yeah. Good. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
this
no
was
problem.
Really great. I mean, I appreciate you telling your story, and it's super inspirational. I'm sure somebody's going to get something out of it.
I hope so.
I mean, I was selfishly getting stuff out of it too. If people want to keep up with you, follow you along your journey, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, social media. I don't post a lot about real estate, but skydiving. I'll post stories on real estate. So Free Fly Kid on Instagram, my name on Facebook. You can send me a message. I did write a car wash ebook, not as a shameless plug, but it's people are interested in looking self-service car wash space. It's a good tool to
Very cool.
to go learn some
Nice.
how to analyze deals and everything. So
Awesome. Well, this is a good time.
yeah,
Thanks
so much.
That's all we've got for today's show. If you loved the content, please leave us a rating and review. It really helps us grow. If you want to follow along my journey as a real estate investor, you can go to builtforwealthpodcast.com and you'll find all of my social links there. Thanks for listening.